I feel like you guys might know the words, maybe. I don't know, help us out. There's a lot of words, right? It took too long for you to call back.
It's the environment, really. It's the people surrounding you, all screaming, shouting the words that the people are saying. It's feeling the bass drum going through the ground into the balls of your feet.
I really like music that has a meaning.
Fuck you very, very much.
Music that can speak to you and like you don't care about anybody around you. You're not so much mesmerized with the artist. You're just more feeling the music and in the vibe.
I feel like music festivals have gotten so big in the last, 15 to 20 years, maybe 10 years, with just hundreds of people, rich people, poor people, everyone making their way to these big hubs of music. And I think there's a reason. People want to experience human emotion and human experience together.
At an arena concert, I can scream at the top of my lungs and act like a complete buffoon, and it'd be totally okay.
What's experienced between the performer and the audience is kind of intimate and personal and unique to just them in that scenario, and that's something that I really would like to have with some of my favorite artists, such as I said, Florence and the Machine. I'd love to go see Hozier live in concert. Casey Musgraves is another one on there. Stuff like that. But the reason that's pulling me back, I would say, is just because I don't love crowds.
You don't know what you like until you try it. And so you might surprise yourself.
I know that I wouldn't do good at a festival. I don't know. The large crowds, I don't know, being outside with that many people for an extended period of time doesn't sound very appealing to me.
There's only 3 bands that are important in my life. My Chemical Romance, Sum 41, Blink-182. They count as one band because they're a band with one word and a number.
I think it's just a personal thing, and don't go to a concert for music you don't enjoy. And so I think when you go to a concert, you're constantly surrounded by people who like the music as well, and that really adds to the experience.
I think concerts work better with music that is authentically created in the moment, on the stage. Live guitar, drums, like I said, the bass sound, the drums, live drums, hearing that play.
I've heard stories of people that have gone to live shows of modern hip-hop rappers, and they just haven't been good experiences because a lot of it is just like pre-recorded vocals that they're playing on speakers and they're just singing over it, which a lot of people do, like a lot of artists do that, but when it's like already auto-tuned,
You're so used to listening to the music, which is just one sense typically. So when you go to the concert, you also use other senses. What are you feeling physically? And then what are you seeing? What are you listening? What are you smelling? And for concerts to succeed, you have to be able to provide stimuli for those other senses as well.
Your music can be great, but then again, if the stage design, if the sound design, if the logistics of the concert aren't working in your favor, you will not have a successful live show.
One, two, three, go! This is America. Hey. you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. Don't be tripping now. This is America. Comes in my area. I got the strap. I got a carrier.
When you listen to live performances, like, the artist will sometimes play the song or sing the song in the way that it was originally written, not the way that it was recorded. So you'll get like those glimpses of what the song was, like what it, you know what I'm saying? Like it's more authentic.
When you're recording, you can do it over and over and over again. And artists do. Some artists just, take the first cut, roll with it. But when you have the opportunity to do it till it's perfect, you're going to do it till it's perfect. And so when you're in concert, you can't be like, let's go back 30 seconds and start that again.
You go into a recording studio and you record it a bunch of times, and sometimes, there are different takes, you try it different ways, and, they end up picking the take that sounds the best, and that's the one that gets put in the album or whatever. But, when the artist writes the song, they have a specific vision for the song, and I feel like live performances is when they're able to like see that vision through and like actually perform the song the way that they originally wanted to perform it.
Like, you make music for the purpose of doing it live.
In the moment, hearing it in the moment instead of the final product, the final cut is so beautiful. That's why I love live albums too. And you hear recordings of live music because you hear the artist speaking and talking and improvising in the moment.
My favorite music is from the 70s era. I unfortunately cannot experience most of those people live.
You can go on YouTube and you can search something live in concert and you can watch a video that is live, but it's not live. You know what I'm saying? You can see the performers perform the music live at a time, but it's not live at that current point in time.
Even though it's not the same thing as seeing them live, it's the next best thing.
There are full YouTube videos of concerts, and that allows people who can't necessarily travel to concerts or can't afford tickets or something. I think that caters to them and allows them to experience to an extent what the concert is. I still do think it is different seeing it in person.
It has made liveness accessible to people in a way that wasn't before, but it has very much convoluted the effect of liveness on people.
The first jump would be to say that all this technology has ruined the live experience, that now whenever you go to concerts, all you see is a bunch of 14-year-olds with their phones up. They're not even experiencing the concert. They're just watching it through their phones. And yes, that is a problem. It is. But this is the world that these kids know. That's all that they know.
When you go to a concert, that energy is like a drug.
And you look to your left, and you look to your right, and you see strangers, and y'all are all united in lyrics, in song, and in energy. Like y'all all kind of become one for a second. And you look at these people, and you're like, all these people could be my best friends, and I don't even know them.
So what I want to do is practice the exercise with y'all. Can everybody take a deep breath with me? Let's take another deep breath. It's better when your arms are in the air. Put your arms up. Yeah! On this last deep breath, I want you to imagine all the love that you've been putting out. All of the good energy. All of the high vibration that you've been putting out from your body. I want you to imagine it coming back into you. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
People like to have grand experiences.
the audience and the setting and the vibe that's in the air definitely adds to the experience, but I would say that the music first and foremost is the most important, because that's what affects you and like how you think about it, and the music is what pulls out those memories and those feelings of like, oh, I remember like the first time I heard this song, or like I remember I listened to that song with somebody and it's like, oh. And so so I definitely do think the music is most important.
You know, there are people that like to sit inside and listen to the record, and then there are people that like to go outside and watch the artist perform live. You know, I don't know. I guess it really just depends on the person. Why do I think people still go to concerts? I don't know. Maybe it's that sense of like connecting with the artist that you felt that you had some type of relationship with.
You know, the audience is one thing, but then seeing that person that just spoke to your soul is just like, oh, like, I love you.
You have all of these people, all of these souls, all of this energy coming together, and in a few moments, like for an hour and a half, like you feel like you all become one, and you're like, you walk out of there feeling electric, as if like, wow, I didn't know that human beings could do something like this. I didn't know that we could like create something bigger than ourselves.
There is nothing more powerful than sitting in the audience of live music.
The most important thing is what the music means to you. And I feel like if you connect with the lyrics or just the music or like the beat, then that should be a good enough reason to go to a live performance.
This is how you break it down.